G'day, SPARTANWILLY here, and welcome back to our Aston Martin Motorsport Manager 2021 F1 Manager mod save. Alright, welcome back to the Circuit of Americas today. We're getting towards the pointy end of the season where we hopefully will get Russell on top of Hamilton. Just before we get started, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I just did my 500 sub video, uploaded it about 30 minutes ago, so check that out if you haven't. I got some big announcements in there for you. Of course, we're doing a triple upload today to celebrate. It's the usual we do. Just my little way of saying thank you, giving you more content. But yeah, so thank you so much for 500 subs. I have also set a goal in that video, so check that out. But yeah, that being said, let's get straight into the Circuit of Americas here. So we are working on an engine for 10 days. That probably won't be done in time, but hopefully. But the reliability probably won't be that good on it anyway. So I'm going to go through these 10 days and I'll let you know all the highlights of what happens if anything important happens. Alright, so time for the Circuit of Americas. Now the car is taking quite a dip here. It's still best on grid, but still best in top speed. We improved the engine quite a bit. And the engine build did finish, but I forgot that was for next year. So now we have a sick engine for next year. So a 1586, which isn't much better than our fully upgraded 12526, but the second driver will get that engine, first driver get that one. So yeah, whoever they are, we're going to build a bit of mystery to it. But yeah, so we're not first in brakes, as you can see here. So brakes, Ferrari and Mercedes have overtaken us, and Mercedes have overtaken us in the gearbox. Alpine have overtaken us in the low speed corners, and Mercedes have overtaken us in the suspension. We've still got the best high speed, so we're only the best in two areas now. We are working on a really good suspension, but it is for next year because we neglected that massively last season. We said we focus on that next season. But if you have a look here, our current restaurant's 1505. The one we're building is 1590 with a 3 level risk level. So we definitely won't use that this year, but it's good to know that we're making good progress for next year. So yeah, that's sort of the news on the car part front. Hopefully we can still put up a good race here in the Circuit of Americas, but it is interesting to see Ferrari and Alpine to get a bit of a horse in the race. Basically, Red Bull are now the sixth best car in grid, so that car is just not there for them this season. So we'll see what happens with their drivers because they've got two great drivers on board in the Red Bull team. But sixth with car and grid, Max Verstappen's not going to be happy with that. And I see Christian Horner is actually uneasy job security, which is interesting. But yeah, that being said, I'll see you for Q3 in the Circuit of Americas. It's going to be rainy in practice, qualifying, and clearing the race. Rain could sneak into the race though. I'll see you then. Alright, Q3 time, and Q2 was all dry. So if the race is all dry tomorrow at the start, we will be locked onto those softs, which is good for us because everyone else is on the super soft. So, oh, and this doesn't look like a great session for Q3. We might only get one run here, which is a bit annoying because I wanted to redo that strategy from Marcy last time out with at least a super soft run and a soft run. But yeah, it's going to not be able to do that because it's quite wet. We're not even going to bother sending them out for a bank lap on the wet tires. Why bother? We already got the setups as good as I think we're going to get them. So we're just going to have to go straight to the end and give them both one go at it, one run at it. But yeah, we'll have a look here. Let's try and time this to perfection because we do not want to miss out not sending a lap. But as you said, Callum Ilott isn't even in the session. He went out in Q1, which is fantastic news for us. We're going to send Stroll out in the Super Softs. And then setting out my boy George Russell. Here we go. Come on. Russell, let's get on pole today, mate. You got to back up that win that I've forgotten the anthem for 2 videos in a row, even though I said I wouldn't in the video, but we won't talk about that. Russell goes purple in Sector 1, Sector 2, and Sector 3. Hamilton takes pole though. Damn it. But Stroll does fantastic to get into P4, to be honest. Verstappen, who's overperforming in that car massively. As you see there, he's only a second off the pace, and Perez is almost 2 off the pace. So he is doing bits in that car. And where's Alonso? I just realised. Am I going crazy? Where's Fernando Alonso? Any other Alpine? Oh, he's down 17th. What the? Because I want to see how Alpine go, but they didn't even make it to Q3 because they have the best front wing on grid. That's why I was interested. But yeah, second and fourth. It just keeps trying to scroll me down. Hamilton, Russell, Leclerc, Stroll, Verstappen, Ricardo, Norris. Norris finally showing up a little bit. But yeah, that is Q3. I'll see you in the race. All right, so we have a job to do here at the start, George Russell. You're not great at your starts this year, but if you can get past Hamilton early, that would be great. We are locked onto those soft tyres, which works in our favour quite nicely. Any rain today? No rain today by the looks of it. And yeah, I just couldn't get Russell's speed balance right, unfortunately, but he'll be right. We're going to keep the fuel load as it is. I just want to see how long these tires will last on this sort of stint. So 36, yeah, we'll say about 30 laps, I think, maybe 25. Depends on how we push. But I'm down for a two-stop. It means we can push the tires hard enough. We'll see how the race goes. But Russell needs a good start. And it's a fantastic start from George Russell, and he beat Lewis Hamilton on the line. Finally, we have one good start every like 10 races with Russell, but he's done it there nicely. Ilot's dropped down to last on the medium set. He gets Leclerc, who must have had a shocker. So Leclerc's dropped out of the running completely on those super softs. He's down in 19th with the vomit on the back of the Ferrari. So that's weird. A Ferrari and a Mercedes in the bottom two, which is, yeah, quite bizarre. But we're going to tell Russell to just push away here. Just push away. You do you now. I keep pushing away then. Yeah. You just do your race, but I'm just trying to get you in the best position. We're going to try and get Stroll to have go on Hamilton here nice and quick. Come on, get up to Hamilton. If you get past Hamilton, it'll really slow him down and possibly hand our boy the race win. But George Russell just keeps going pink and purple in every sector. Just fantastic news. Those soft tyres must be so much better than the super softs. Stroll starts to fall behind Hamilton quite quickly, but Ricciardo's behind him. So if Stroll can keep that P3, I mean, the Red Bull Verstappen is not as fast as it used to be. There's no Leclerc. Oh, well, Leclerc's coming up. There's no Ilott. So that P3 could realistically be Stroll's own if he can hold on onto it for long enough before the other boys start to catch up. But we're going to keep pushing here because we can just go hybrid mode to get the fuel back. But we're going to tell Stroll to calm down a little bit on the fuel. But Russell's got heaps of time in this race. If he can just get away in this front stint, he'll be off and running, I believe. But look to get through this first part of this race. It's a 5-second gap to Hamilton. It is eking out very slowly. I do think Hamilton will go on the mediums. He's made a good habit of that, of going on the super softs and going on the mediums for the rest of the race. Is it the best strategy? I don't think so, because we beat him quite often with it. But if Russell can just keep it at the wall, it would be fantastic. And we can look at a strategy to win this race. But Stroll's fallen well behind Hamilton now, but that was to be expected. And actually, Ricciardo, there's a big gap between Ricciardo and fifth place, which is also great to see because I think we'll stay in front of Ricciardo at this rate, but I could be wrong. Hamilton will pit onto the softs, which is a bit different. Now, we're going to monitor this gap. We don't want to lose that gap because then he'll overcut us. But right now, I think he pitted, came out in about 20 seconds. So if it goes under 20 seconds, we'll pit. But for now, I think it's all Aston Martin at the moment. It's all coming up Spartan, but we're going to push a little bit on these tyres, get them back in that optimal range. And I didn't even make my projected time period that I said at the start of the race of 20 laps, or so, 25, 30 laps. But we're going to pit Stroll now. He's coming into the pits, maybe. Hang on. Let's just use as much ERS as possible. But we are going to bring Lance Stroll into the pits now. 75, save, pit, auto off. Yep. Use as much battery as possible, mate. And you're in destiny with the ERS now. Russell's going to go around one more lap, I believe, and he's actually losing quite a bit of time, so he needs to push these tyres into the absolute ground. We're going to push on the battery and off, and let's go for a fastest lap. Come on, Russell, give everything you got into these tyres. We're going to tell him to push, and he's going to come out. Where's he going to come out into? P1 comfortably and push off with that ERS. Lovely stuff, lovely. How do you get purple in the first sector coming out the pits? That's impossible. Surely you'd think, but how long are these tires going to last? 32 to 34 laps, so let's not push them actually. Let's try and get them all the way home. Oh, he's still on attack overtake. That is not great. But I think we've... Oh, and Hamilton's actually closed that gap to 3 seconds, so we could see a bit of a fire here. But we can let him go as long as we stay in his pit window, because we are not planning on stopping again. Or do we fight him now and stop again? This is a big call, because I don't think we'll be able to keep up with him and stay in his pit window if he passes us. So if he passes us, it's a change of strategies, and this team orders down a Ferrari, which is controversial, but to be expected, I suppose. And yeah, Russell's got to sort of get going a little bit here, isn't he? Come on, mate. And Ocon down in 16th. That Alpine is trash. They had the best front wing on grid. I swear I saw that. Was my eyes playing tricks on me? Because they are not doing well. But we're going to go overtake here with Stroll as well. Try and get... Oh, Eyes no stopped on the medium so far, so he's got to stop in him. Ricciardo is actually maintaining that that close gap to Stroll, so he could get past. You never know. But Hamilton 3.5, 4 seconds. Someone behind us pit stopping. Was that Ilott? I saw a pit stop logo. What is his tyres on? How is he like staying on the podium? He's on 30%, so he'll probably drop out of the podium or pit. Either way, he's not going to be in our race anymore if we overtake him. Hopefully. But how are we going here? Look after these tyres, Stroll. They'll see you through to the end now. Maybe. No, they won't, I don't think. I think we just pit him. I don't think it's worth it. Risking it. Where's Ricardo? No, Ricardo's going to the end, so we have to go to the end or else we'll lose our podium here. Because Ilott's definitely not going to make it to the end on those mediums. So we're just going to have to basically do what Ricardo does in the podium race with Stroll. While George Russell up here is doing absolute bits. We're going to tell him to conserve on the tyres a little bit. I don't think Hamilton's going to get past us now because he's either going to have to pit to push or conserve, and they won't make any moves on us while conserving. Just doesn't have that type of pace, unfortunately for him, but good for us. And look after those tyres. Very nicely, Russell. Hamilton can do all he wants, and we get past Ilott who pits. Beautiful stuff. So we're going to watch on board Stroll for a couple of laps here. Watch his battle with Ricardo. He's got, so we got 36 with Stroll, and he's on 33. So Ricardo's got worse tyre wear than us. He might pit at the end now. I do think he'll pit at the end now that I think about it. And Ilott's actually going to be able to have a go at us, I think. That is not great. That pit stop didn't take it out of him as much as we hoped. But hopefully, Stroll can do bits and stay in front. But Hamilton does pit and he's 16 seconds behind. So we're going to monitor that as well. I am tempted to pit Russell as that gap gets absolutely shredded in like a couple laps. But we do have a bit of battery to use. Worst case scenario is Ilott is closing that gap to our boy Stroll. As it starts to rain a little bit, I wonder if anyone will go on inters. And Ricardo will pit. Okay, but we lose the podium. So if we pit now, we lose the podium to Ilott. So we're not going to pit. But it's a bit disappointing. Now, this is where it's starting to get a bit scary. Hopefully Russell will still win. But it's all about that second driver now. I mean, those tyres are going to go off the cliff, aren't they? Right at the end. But here, oh no, not quite, not quite. But we're going to watch on board Stroll here. Come on, Stroll. You've got to get that car to the end, mate. You got to. In on the podium as Ilott's coming beaming down. We're going to watch Russell cross the line here. George Russell, great race today, mate. First place as we jump right back on Stroll, though, who's going to attack those tyres into the absolute ground. Russell with a great win, 3 in a row now. Great for the championship, but Stroll, it looks like he might just hold on, mate. Come on. Ilott's charging down. Turn that off and just go, yeah, all ERS. Lance Stroll on the final lap. He's going to bring home the podium. Lovely drive from him today. Great work. And as you see there, Ilott actually recovered massively that race, but our boys did one better than both their drivers. And Russell goes top of the championship. What a race. As the car's losing performance in a number of areas, it still pulls out a big drive from the drivers. And as you can see there, those tyres were dead that Stroll was on. I don't know how he made it through the end. On the rain as well, just for good measure. 66 seconds behind Russell. That is an insane gap. But to be expected, I suppose. But yeah, what a race that was. That was a great race. As you see there, just first, third, second, fourth. That is insane. A double podium for Aston Martin. Let's see the boys on the podium after the scrutineering check, which hopefully Mercedes have found cheating and we take second. No, but we take the fastest lap, so we'll take that for sure. Fernando Alonso ends up in the points, so recovers from bad qualifying. And where's the confetti? We're piling on the podium again with Stroll, which is great. Even with that injury, we're on the podium here, SPARTANWILLY. Lewis is by himself on the second step. Hopefully we can get Lance Stroll, our second driver, on the second step of the podium next year. That'd be great. Absolute Aston Martin domination. But that is the Circuit of America's Grand Prix. So the pattern seems to be Hamilton gets us on pole, and then Russell takes over in the race, which I'm very happy with. You know, you don't even get points qualifying, obviously. George Russell's better because he's leading the championship. We'll just say that for now. Russell makes it 3 on the trot. Lovely stuff. And yeah, 12 wins this season with George Russell. Fantastic. I was in Singapore, Suzuka, and the Circuit of Americas. And I see there, in the last, take away the first 3 races, and he's gone DNF twice, 1 second place, and the rest are wins. That is a mental stat there. He's DNF 3 times this season, which is going to hurt him in this championship fight, unfortunately. So he can't really afford to DNF again. Has to win every race to keep on top of Hamilton. If DNFs again, it's looking like it's over for him. But we won't talk about that now. We'll talk about celebrating him winning 3 in a row. But I do think there's another DNF coming from one of our drivers. But on the constructors front, After a great fight back race from iLots, it's not as big of a weekend as I thought it was going to be. When you go out in Q1, I sort of expect us to get a massive amount of points over, but it's 98 points now with what? I keep checking this. 5 races to go. So 5 races in the championship. Of course, we're going to do another 2 today. The next one's out in an hour, and then another hour after that's the next one. So we're going to have a pretty good sort of picture of how this title race is going to shape up. We've got the suspension working on. That it's back-to-back weekends in Mexico, so yeah, we won't quite see the. I mean, we already know what's going to be. It's a next year part anyway, so we won't be able to use that next weekend anyway. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you again for 500 subs. If you haven't already, check out that video, the 500 subs video. Yeah, it's got some good new sort of things about the channel in there, future plans for the channel. Check that out. Subscribe if you're not already. Roads over thousands begun. Like the video if you enjoyed it. And add me on Discord if you want to message anything. Comment down below if you have any feedback or suggestions. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.